And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. The Statesboro Blue Devils, the last area high school football team to play, the last Bulloch County team to play in the state playoffs. They were the only one to advance, and they lost on the road to Dutchtown. We'll hear from head coach Jeff Kaiser as he discusses how the Blue Devils did this season, how he feels, and the future going forward. We'll also check in with the Georgia Southern Eagles coming off a tough loss to Louisiana, their biggest defeat of the season, the only game so far this year that they were not within a touchdown of in the fourth quarter. The Eagles now with only 2 games left to win one and have to win one in order to become bowl eligible. This Saturday night at 6 o'clock, they'll be hosting the Marshall Thundering Herd, who come in with a record of 5-4. That game once again at 6 o'clock at Paulson Stadium, and we'll hear from head coach Clay Helton as well as a couple of Eagle players coming up in just a moment. We also have some area high school flag football to get to. All that and more coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888. or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com. McCooks Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCooks Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCooks Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCooks Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. It's now time for our Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Morris Bank. Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles coming off a tough loss to Louisiana this past week to drop them to 5-5 overall. They need a victory this week to become bowl eligible. Marshall comes in with a record of 6-3, but they also need a victory against the Eagles in order to be bowl eligible because 2 of their victories came against schools from the FCS. We had a chance to talk with Coach Clay Helton and a couple of the players about the matchup.
Tell our coaches all the time, they don't pay us to make excuses. They pay us to find answers, So if you have injuries, you've trained another man to walk in there and play. Let them go play. If it's a short week, the other team has a short week. There's no excuses. We didn't play to our capability. Thought we had a great week of prep. Was really surprised about our second quarter there, and it getting away from us. Don't expect it, to happen again. But there's no excuses. Whether it's short week, whether it's injuries, we're paid a lot of money to go win football games. So let's go win a football game. When you look at the overall seasons, it is similar. You talk about, having some big wins, not only within conference but out of conference. They had a Notre Dame, we had a Nebraska, big wins within conference. They get a huge win versus App State last week. We had a big one versus James Madison. And now we both were sitting here kind of on the brink of going to play postseason, and they got theirs last week, and we're fighting like heck to get ours and go 1-0 hopefully this week. So we're playing a really good Marshall football team that I think is playing their best football right now in all 3 phases, and really can put pressure on you in all 3 phases. Offensively, I think they do a tremendous job of staying, keeping just enough RPO game and down the field shots to where it scares you from truly loading the box against that powerful run game that they have. And defensively, obviously, it's documented. I mean, they're the 8th total defense in the country, unbelievable on third down efficiency and points scored. They're one of the national leaders in what they do. You know, in Game 11, you don't kind of reinvent the wheel. Where I think it's helped us the most is, you know, having that a couple extra days to get healthy. You know, I watched Jeremy Singleton last night run around, and you could just tell those couple extra days have helped him. I think Marquez is another one, you know, that had an ankle and needed a couple extra days. I think it's going to help him. You know, we've had Dylan Springer came out of that game the other night with ribs, and being able to give him a couple extra days before we play the next game. So I don't know if it's necessary. Obviously, the ability of scouting your opponent really helps, but being Game 11, it's more about us being better at what we do rather than just creating a new offense or new defense. It's about us doing things better. Where it does help you is to be able to have, you know, basically 9 days in between games. Yeah, that helps you from a health standpoint.
I feel pretty good, you know, having, it's going to be, 9 days by the time we play again. So, yeah, it feels pretty good, you know, get that rest on your body, get inside the training room, just stretch, rehabilitate, all the good stuff like that. So it feels pretty good. We really just got to take the lessons with the losses. Like, as a team, we know the mistakes that we made that game, so we just got to pay attention to them, lock in, and just not let it happen again. It's a big game, man. The mindset is just win. You got to find a way, whatever it takes. That's the motto we've been living by for the last few weeks, so whatever it takes.
We really didn't change anything. I mean, we just had to do our jobs better. I mean, you watch it on film, it's night and day, first half to second half. I mean, guys just weren't in their gaps in the first half. You're getting reached. I mean, just things that can't happen in the run game were happening in the run game in the first half. So, I mean, that's why you saw those big explosive plays. You're getting creased. So, I mean, you just have to, like, refocus and focus on your job in the second half, and I think you saw that.
You played some of the tough, the best running backs in the Sun Belt Conference. You got another one coming up here Saturday. What kind of problems does that pose for you?
Yeah, I mean, he's got some juice. He's a great running back. I mean, he's got like over 1,250 yards this season, I believe. I mean, we're just gonna have to bring it because we know we haven't been able to stop the run, so teams are gonna try and run the ball on us. I mean, it's our job to really lock down and focus on our techniques and play our gaps, and if we can do that, we'll be able to stop it. If not, then you've seen what the result is.
Once again, that game's starting at 6 o'clock at Paulson Stadium. We'll stay with us. We'll check in with some area high schools coming up next. Wildflower Farms, located on Old Register Road in Statesboro, is a unique rental property for those visiting the Statesboro area. Located on a beautiful 6 acres just off the beaten path, Wildflower Farms has 4 bedrooms, including a game room and full kitchen, as well as an outdoor fire pit, and comfortably sleeps 8 to 10 people. And for those who may be in town for a show or rodeo at the Ag Center, a horse B&B is coming soon with 6 stalls and plenty of room to run in the adjacent pasture. Also available for events as well, you can book through Airbnb or call 912-536-7787 for more information. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests, and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agents can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price.
Call State Farm agent Matthew Tyson in Statesboro today.
Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils finished a disappointing 3-8 season on the road, losing in the first round of the state playoffs to Dutchtown. We had a chance to talk with Blue Devil head coach Jeff Kaiser about how he feels the season went and what he is looking forward to in the future.
We had opportunity to make a few plays and have more wins. You know, as a coach, you never sit here and make an excuse as to why those things happen. Getting stung with injuries obviously did not help. But at the end of the day, when you evaluate your year as the coach, you know, are we doing what it takes to get the level we want to? Number one, as a staff. Number two, as a players, number 3 as a team as a whole. Bottom line is we as a team, as a school, as a community, we got to develop more discipline, and we got to get tougher. And that's what we'll focus on moving forward to get ready for next year. We got to get tougher, more so mentally than physically. If you had to look to the beginning of where the mistake may have been made, number 1 is scheduling, and that's 100% on me. You know, I date back to when I was in high school, and you know, our philosophy as a team then was to play Murderers Row. You know, at the time, the teams to beat in all of the state were the Valdosas, the Clark Centrals, the Tiff counties, and we played them all. And felt like it made us better down the stretch. You know, maybe that's a philosophy that's not as true anymore, not as evident anymore. You see so many teams try to take care of their guys and build confidence in weaker non-region games, and it's just not been a philosophy of ours, and we'll evaluate that as well. There's obviously nothing we can do about that going into next year, but you know, like I said, no excuse. We know what the community wants. The expectation here is to get back to the state championships. It's not happening right now. Hadn't happened in 6 years. We're doing all we know, everything we can to build that back to that point. It didn't happen this year, so you put it behind you in the rearview mirror and move forward. Just know that when we talk about mental toughness, at some point in your life, multiple times, you're not going to get your way and you're going to lose. We've got to do a better job of teaching our kids how to respond to temporary failure. You know, it's very challenging when you lose, and then outside of our team, when you go out in the community and even go home in some cases, the kids are only hearing negative things. And that's everywhere. That's not just here, not just Statesboro, Georgia, but that's society in general. You know, everybody wants a winner. Everybody's on board and patting you on the back when you're doing good, and everybody's kicking you in the teeth when you're not. And we try to teach the kids that, you know, that's how life is. That's what's going to happen through the rest of your life. So you try to prepare them for that. But at the end of the day, you know, we came here to win football games and create better men. It's still obviously a work in progress. You know, you make the adjustments as you evaluate in the off season to try to reach that goal. You know, I don't feel like we're at a point in a program where we can say, by golly, we're going to do this on offense no matter who we have. I think that's a thing of the past. And same defensively. Youth will be prominent. There'll be a lot of guys that get an opportunity that have never stepped foot on a varsity football field. So, you know, in the off season, you spend time evaluating. You spend time monitoring progression and strength and speed and character, and make those adjustments moving forward into spring practice to get ready for the next year.
Southeast Bulloch Coaches Show segment is brought to you in part thanks to Southeast Tire and Service. Southeast Tire and Service has been in business for 13 years, offering extensive vehicle repair and service from bumper to bumper. Come have a cup of coffee with us and let us help you with your car needs. Located at 400 Parker Avenue in Brooklyn. The Southeast Bulloch segment of our show is brought to you in part thanks to Bulloch Solutions. Visit them at bulloch.solutions to find out how they can connect you to the highest speeds for all your technology needs. As for the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets, their season came to a close a couple of weeks ago for regular football, but the flag football team continues to roll right along. This past week, the Yellow Jackets were able to close out things and be the number 1 seed in the area tournament. The area tournament got underway Tuesday, and the Yellow Jackets continued to roll right along as they shut out Treutlen County. Let's send you out for highlights of that one. Southeast Bulloch looking to punch their ticket to the area championship, taking on Treutlen County. This one was all Jackets. The pitch to Ansley Littles, who goes all the way in for the score. Kaylee Haas would then take the conversion in to give Southeast Bulloch a 7-0 lead. Next, a little scrambling, and she'll find Delaney Thames in the end zone for the touchdown. The conversion, Haas to Littles, and she makes it 14-0. The Jackets defense playing strong here. Addie Hood will take the ball out of the hands of the receiver for an interception. And then on offense, it's Littles to Hood for the score. On the conversion, Haas finds Thames, and it's 21-0. The Southeast Bulloch defense playing solid. Jaden Williams with a nice pull. Back on offense, Littles, the pitch to Talkington, who throws back to Littles, and she scampers down the sidelines for the touchdown. Haas will then go in for the 1-point conversion to extend the lead to 28-0. More from the Jacket defense. This time, Lauren Erickson with the interception. She'll get stopped just shy of the goal line. No problem, as Haas will find Delaney Thames to make it 34-0. Talkington then over to Alex Odom, and it's 35-0. And to cap things off in the first half scoring, Alex Odom with the pick 6. Southeast Bulloch advances to the area championship, winning by a final count of 48-0. Thursday night, Southeast Bulloch and Dodge County meeting for the area championship in Brooklet, a battle of two state champs from a year ago. The Jackets on the move. Corinne Talkington pitches to Ansley Littles, who gets down for a first down, 15 yards, and then it's Littles airing it out. Alex Odom hauls it in, the 25-yard pass down to the 5-yard line. From there, the pitch to Littles, who hits Odom for the touchdown. The extra point failed, and it was 6-0 Jackets. Later, facing 4th and short. Southeast going for it, and Kaylee Haas reaches across and picks up the first down. Next, Talkington pitches to Littles, who gets ahead for another Yellow Jacket first down, capping the drive. Talkington, the pitch to Littles, who gives it back to Talkington. She stretches across the goal line for the touchdown. The extra point gave Southeast a 13-0 halftime lead. Second half, the Yellow Jacket defense clamping down. Jaden Williams helping out on the sack. And then Delaney Thames and Ava King with the stop for short yardage, looking for more on offense, Southeast, and it's Littles finding Addie Hood across the middle, deep into Dodge County territory. Littles then looking for Thames for the touchdown, but a great grab by Alteria Gooch for the interception. But the Jackets not allowing Dodge County past midfield. Williams, another nice stop for a loss. And finally, looking deep, it'll be Addie Hood sealing the Jacket victory, coming through with the interception, as Southeast Bulloch takes the Area 3 title as they head to the state playoffs the week after Thanksgiving. The Bulloch Academy segment is brought to you in part thanks to Floors Outlet of Statesboro, located on Northside Drive. Come by and visit Mo for all your floor covering needs. Fall is here, and we've got you covered at RJ Pope's. Cheer on your favorite team with performance polos and jackets from Peter Millar and Gentile, as well as Southern Tide and AFCO. For ladies, they have the latest trends and fashions, including men's and women's jackets from Patagonia and Barber. RJ Pope's has a wide variety of on-cloud shoes for men and women, and a great selection of hats and caps. Shop one of their 3 locations, RJ Pope's downtown, Buckhead Plaza, and Vidalia. Well, the Statesboro Blue Devils fell on the road as they lost to Wheeler County, and their season came to a close. As for the Portal Panthers, they were in Brooklet as well. They were taking on the Swainsboro Tigers in an effort to make it back to the state playoffs. They've been in the state championship the past 2 years. Let's send you out for highlights of that one. The Portal Panthers one step away from making it back to the state playoffs as they took on Swainsboro. The Tigers start the scoring as Tanya Ricks goes in for the touchdown, and it was 6-0 later. Ricks going deep, and this one hauled in for a touchdown by Hannah Howard as the Tigers take a 12-0 lead. They'd add another here as Ricks finds Jamia Smith, who makes a nice move and goes 35 yards for the touchdown, and it's 18-0. The Panthers finally put a drive together. Emma Yates to Tiara Kingsbury. Next, Yates is going to the air again. She finds Riley Lamb for a first down. Yates and Lamb hook up moments later, getting them close. But on 4th and goal, the pass complete to Kingsbury, but she's stopped short of the goal line. Swainsboro takes over, and Ricks to Howard. A few missed tackles, and she'll go all the way for the touchdown as Swainsboro defeats Portal by a score of 24-0. Well, unfortunately, the season comes to a close for Portal as well. High school basketball action will get underway later on this week. Portal in action at home. Statesboro at home Friday night as well, as the Bulloch Academy Gators will be home Friday night for a 6 o'clock start against Bradwell. We'll have highlights of those games for you coming up next week, as well as the Georgia Southern Eagles and Marshall. But for now, that'll wrap things up. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.